where stories told. Let your journey now begin. In the magic, let's dive in. So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the terror's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place. In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Moon of infinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our steering send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend.
Hello everyone, and welcome in to another live stream. I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm doing well. Thank you for everyone that asked me. It's been a couple days since I've been here. We had my husband's birthday and a couple things I had to get done. I was doing offline readings last night just in case anybody wanted them, and I'm back today. You should see me today, tomorrow, Friday, probably Sunday. Try to get back to like a regular schedule. I don't really take time off, as you guys know, so when I do, I really have to kind of plan it out. But I will say donations are open. We did not get any pre-orders yet, only because I think I just posted my live stream recently, so there wasn't time for pre-orders to come in. Good news for y'all if you want to donate, because then there's no wait for you. Let's go ahead and get started with the free questions. Thank you. I'll let my husband know that you said happy birthday. Let's start with Amy. Amy, I am getting a no for you on that one, friend. 6 of Swords. Let's do Darella is next. Darella. Yes, Queen of Pentacles. Make sure if you're dropping a yes, no question, you are liking the live stream, please. This is for Nat. I have a no for you, Nat. The Hanged Man. Rena. For Rena. Two of Cups, yes, for me. Amy, maybe you're just thinking of him, you know? Thank you, Jarella. You're welcome, Amy. I'm hoping that once these things balance out for you medication wise, you'll start feeling better. But I understand being super tired for sure. Jasmine, hello and welcome in. How are you? I am doing good. Thank you for asking. Please make sure if you're just joining us and you're dropping us no question, you're liking the live stream. This is for Anna. You want to know if the language career will be difficult for you? Let's take a look here. I'm getting a no for you, Anna. Maybe it's just something that you pick up a little easier than other people. I have the moon and the 5 of wands. Those are both no for me. My day was good. Spent some time with my husband's side of the family for a little bit today. So I wasn't home until like about an hour ago. But yeah, today was pretty good. Thank you for asking. You're welcome, Anna. Looks like we got a BOGO from Jasmine. So Jasmine will be with you shortly. You'll be first on my list. All right, this is for Prechi. Page of Swords is a yes for me for that question. That's also like the card of the student and the scholar. Shavana. So Shavana, this kind of borderlines on a financial question because you're not asking advice. I'm just going to pull a card and we'll see what we get. But I typically don't like answering questions about money. So let's see. See what card comes out for you. All right. Did Brian friend send off the money in bank account? Show me yes or no. Show me yes or no. Show me yes or no. I'm getting a no for that 5 of Swords. This is going to be for Justin. Should Justin let this connection go? I have a 3 of Cups. That's a yes for me, Justin. Preachy, it was just the Page of Swords that I had said. Is that what you're asking? Page of Swords. We're going to be wrapping up the free list here very soon. So make sure if you haven't asked a yes, no, and you'd like to, you're getting that dropped in the chat as soon as possible. Amy, you donated. Amy for a mini. I got you, girl. Oh, you're welcome, Preachy. Yeah, sometimes I just kind of forget to tell you what the card is. But if there's ever like more than one, I will tell you if there's more than one that came out. All right, we got about 2 minutes left of the free list, and we will be moving on to donations. First up, we got Jasmine, and then Amy after that. Oh, and it looks like another donation came through. For Justin. Justin, what did you donate for? Perfect. A mini for you. Okay, I got you. All right, let me update the donation list real quick. That is where we are. Jasmine, I am doing well. I'm very, very, very tired today. It doesn't help that today has been very like gloomy and kind of rainy. But I have had like not a lot of caffeine, but I've definitely have caffeine in my system. And I still feel like I could fall asleep like standing up. Something tells me it'll be an early bedtime for me today. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, doing good, doing real good. Virginia. All right, one more minute of the free list, guys. Jasmine, if you want to get your questions prepped, or at least the first part of your BOGO, feel free to do that now, because I'm going to get started on you as soon as I can. Epic level fights with your family. I know, Jasmine. I'm hoping you can get out of there soon. It's tough. Whew. All right, guys, that is it for the free list. Thank you all for that. That was fun. It gives me all warmed up for the reading. So, all right, let's take a look here. Yes, Jasmine is first. So, Jasmine, I'll get shuffling for you while I wait for you to post your question. So your mother's been truly concerning you. Started abusing dog and everyone around her. Your little mother started abusing post-move. Truly concerned, even for my brothers and my stepdad. Nora said she'll start targeting other people. Oh, yeah, I mean, oh my god, I'm so sorry. That's gonna happen. I do apologize. Trust me, I'm awake enough to do y'all's readings. I just on the struggle bus here with the fatigue. Yes, that's fine. I mean, this is kind of like borderline touching on a subject that's kind of taboo in my opinion as far as readings go, but my goal with these readings for these types of readings would be to just figure out how to help you navigate this. So we're going to break this down a little bit, Jasmine. First, I'm going to just make sure in general, like if she's going to start targeting other members of your family first before we dive into this, because if I'm getting a lot of no cards, that's not going to happen, then maybe we can kind of revise what kind of question we're going to ask. But let's take a look here. All right, let's see. Will she start targeting other people post-move? Okay. Okay, so Kushbar, hello and welcome in. We are not doing free questions anymore, so I'm gonna remove your comment, okay? So Jasmine, as far as like, is she going to start targeting other people in your family? I am getting a yes. I specifically asked, is this going to be like physical abuse? And I got a no to that. I got the 9 of Swords and the 4 of Pentacles. Now, again, this is the current trajectory of where we're at. So this is checking in with her mental, emotional, and spiritual state. And they are saying that it's going to be more of like an emotional abuse, which honestly can sometimes be worse. It's just as bad. But it's going to be more like mental. It's going to be more like power trips, control, trying to influence opinions, causing chaos in the background. I feel like she's going to be in this place where, like, on the front end, she's going to try to seem like an angel, like she's still great, but it's like the things behind closed doors that is going to be hard for your family, or harder for your family. It definitely feels like she wants other people, almost like the optics from the outside world, the public, even friends or other family. It's like she wants it to seem like things are put together, but behind the scenes, there's a lot of drama and chaos and problems that she's causing, and it creates a very turbulent and stressful environment for the people that are left behind. I don't necessarily know, like, if it's going to get worse than what she's doing to you. That's hard for me to say, but it does almost feel like she like readjusts or like refocuses that like negativity that she's had over you onto other people. Oh my God, Jasmine, I'm so sorry. Can you take the dog? Is that possible? I don't even know if that's possible. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't mean that it's not possible to turn physical, okay? I'm not saying that that's not a possibility, but what I am saying is with how things are going right now, it doesn't feel like that's going to happen. The problem with her hurting your dog is that a lot of times that's kind of where the chaos tends to start. It's like you start with the animals first for whatever reason. So this is going to require like a lot of like professional help, which I don't know if it's something she's willing to seek out or not. But since you're moving out, you won't be witnessing these things as often. Now, you could technically report her if you chose to do so for, hurting or hitting the dog, because that's not tolerated. I mean, she could definitely get in trouble for that. So because you're not going to be living there any longer, you won't be able to really witness it. And it's going to be up to the responsibility of the rest of your family to do something about this. If she gets away with it, I think it could escalate. And I think that it can be harder for your family after that, because if she thinks that it's something that she can just keep doing, then maybe at some point that physical trauma will transfer over to the rest of your family. But as of right now, that's not the case. She's clearly has a short fuse. She gets irritated very easily. She has a lot of issues with herself, and she takes it out on other people. This is clearly a very unhappy person. So for what you're asking, I would be very concerned. And I wouldn't trust her to just get better by herself. The message that I'm getting is she'll go after the weakest person in your family. She'll try probably to get them she'll try to influence them, get them on her side. If for whatever reason she's noticing any pushback from the most influential and weakest person in your family, and she's not able to basically manipulate them, then it might lead to a different kind of abuse. So whoever that is, if that's your stepdad, if he's lets her walk all over him, if that's your youngest sibling, etc., this could this could possibly get worse and worse. It's not going to be, I don't think, abusive right when you move out, but I do think this is a snowball effect. And like I said, if you're not witnessing it, you can't report it, and it's going to be someone else's responsibility to kind of put her in her place. And it sounds like to me you're the only one willing to do that. So I don't know if this is something you're willing to try to kind of nip right now before you move. If you want to report this or whatever, that obviously is your decision, and I can't help you decide what to do. But from these cards, it is feeling like this is not going to be super bad right away when you move out, but this is something that if she keeps getting away with it, it could potentially escalate and get worse and worse over time. And granted, it's not just your responsibility, but I feel like you're the only one who's willing to stand up to her right now. Okay? That's, I think, the hardest part about this whole thing is you see her for who she is. And that puts you in a very unique position to have to determine if you're going to pull back and just say, good luck, everyone, I need to protect my own sanity, or if you're going to say, I'll do what I can before I go. You know what I mean? And honestly, that's so not fair to this dog. Just throwing that out there. I hate that, breaks my heart to hear that. So I really hope that on some level that at least can be taken care of. Or like you can take the dog and give him to someone else or something. I don't really know. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. But she's definitely going to try to hide this from other people. She will fight you tooth and nail. If she gets reported, she's going to fight it. She doesn't want people to know her secrets. Like, she doesn't want people to know who she is behind closed doors. And that's going to be difficult for you to prove. You might have to get really smart with it, recording it or something. You're going to want like some kind of like solid evidence if that is the route that you decide to go in. But the escalation, like it getting worse over time, does concern me because that's kind of what I was being shown. And again, I'm really sorry that this is falling on your shoulders because this is stressful and it's hurtful. And I'm sure it's very hard on you, let alone everyone else. He can't do anything to save the animal. Oh. Yeah, but you can still report her. You can still report her to the authorities, though. Look up the state that you live in and look up animal abuse, and see what your rights are with that. Because even though it's her animal, there's a lot of no tolerance laws. So, if that's a decision that you make or decide to make, you need to know like what your rights are and what you can do to try to alleviate this from happening again. But do you know what your second question is for the BOGO, or do you need a minute to think on it? Your step-siblings are no better. The three of them are very scary as well. Oh, your step-siblings. Jesus. Okay. What's going to happen between them and the oldest brother? So Jasmine, I do think some of this burden and stress that you carry with you once you move will be transferred over, unfortunately, to your brother. I don't think he tolerates it for very long, and I just have this feeling that you and the brother that you're asking about will keep in close contact and you guys will work together. But I think that he finds a way out very fast. There's something about your move that's empowering, and I don't think he's going to want to stick around for very long, to be honest. Okay, Amy, that sounds great. So I feel as though it's like your brother knows what to do. Like he knows, just like you, that the time is going to come to an end where he can no longer stay in that environment. And the reason I feel that way is because I have the 10 of Pentacles and the 4 of Wands. So this is him looking for long-term stability outside of where you guys are at. Now, I don't know why he hasn't done this already, but I think it has to do maybe with like financial means. But I see him carrying the burden for a little while, but he's not going to hold that burden for as long as you had to. I see him kind of saying, you know what, I need to get out. Now, like I said, he might try to collaborate with you to some extent in terms of, can you help me out of this situation? Is this something that we can work together on? I almost feel like he's not comfortable where he's at, but like, I guess you have been this shield all along, and the pressure has been on you for the majority, I guess, because you're the oldest or something. And so once that shifts over to him, because you are going to lose contact with everyone else, it's not really something that he's prepared to deal with. And I think that eventually he will find his way out as well. Jasmine, does he live on his own yet, or is he still at home with the family? He lives on his own. Okay, yeah, because something makes me feel like he starts to pull away from the family just like you do. I remember giving you a reading and saying that I feel like you create this like butterfly effect or like this domino effect where you kind of start it and then he tends to follow suit. Is he close to your youngest brother? Like, I'm trying to remember what you told me. Yeah, Jasmine. He will, how do I put this? Your brother isn't going to like walk away until all of his seeds are sown. He's going to make sure he has all of his ducks in a row before he pulls away. So, I mean, this could be, if let's say they're on the same phone plan, he's going to go to the store and he's going to create his own phone plan. So he's going to go to whatever company and get that set in motion. Like he's going to make sure that there's nothing that she can hold over his head anymore. And like I said, he is going to kind of like get his affairs in order. So he's almost like mentally walking away before he physically does, because he doesn't want any issues or any hiccups. If she has something to hold over him, he's going to get that in order. If she has like birth certificates and paperwork, he's going to get access to those before he makes this move. He's going to make sure that there's no ties to her that will make his life more complicated to walk away from. Because, like I said, your mom is all about influence and control, and she will do what she can to hold things over his head. So he is going to mentally leave and prepare to leave before he actually makes any moves, which is why it's first of all going to take a little bit of time, maybe not very long, but a little bit of time for him to come to that decision. And then once he does, maybe a little more time to actually get things in order before he pulls away completely. Sorry, I got bummed out. I feel like he almost wants to blindside her in a way, because he just wants to do this the right way. And I think he might be worried about oh, you said he is the youngest. Is going to have it the worst. Yeah. Yeah, so oh my god. I like this is just such a heavy hard thing. But I almost feel like betrayal, okay? Like I almost feel, like a backdoor blindside situation. He does not want her to know what he's doing. He does not want her to know what he's planning. He wants to completely pull the wool over her eyes so that way once he breaks free, there's nothing she can really do or say about it. He said, yeah, he's aware she's mentally eroding before your eyes. Very sad. Yeah, for sure. My main concern is you and your brothers getting out. Okay? She can come undone, she can spiral whatever she wants. If your stepdad wants to stay with her, that's his prerogative. If the stepkids are going to stay around, that's their prerogative. But like my main concern is you and the brothers that you're close to. That's the problem. I know, Jasmine, I know. But I think you will be like an inspiration. You'll be like a role model to them, because you're kind of going to start this snowball thing where you do it and they're like, okay, she did it and she's fine and she's better. And then I need to do it. It's almost like it starts with you and then they can follow suit. Do you get what I'm saying? But at the same time, you have to get your affairs in order and make sure that you're doing this the right way. Because this is when you leave an abusive relationship in any capacity, whether it's family, parents, siblings, relationships, whatever, you can't just leave. Everyone knows you can't just leave. You have to make sure this is the decision that you're going to stick with. Yes, lead by example. Get your affairs in order. Make sure you have money saved up and you have a plan. And it sucks during that time when you know you want to leave, but you can't leave right away because you have to set yourself up. Okay? And that's kind of going to be the situation that your brother is in, where he's not going to be able to just walk away right away. He's going to need a little bit of time, but he might come to you to get ideas from you or to brainstorm, because I have the Three of Pentacles, and that's the card of strategy. So he might come and confide in you and let you know what his plan is or what you did in this situation, that he could maybe follow suit and do the same thing. He's going to do his research. He's not going to just jump ship right away. He wants to make sure that there's nothing she can hang over his head before he moves on, you know? Does that help you? Does that help kind of let you know the plan and answer your question? Damon, hello and welcome in. We are not doing free reads anymore, but if you want to donate, you can do that. I know, Jasmine, I know. With any situation like this, my advice is just to get out as soon as possible. And that way we can get this ball rolling, so to speak, with like your brothers, to get them out of the situation as well. I also feel like your brother is going to he doesn't want it to be noticeable, but at the same time, I don't really think your stepbrothers will have much power over him, because he's probably he will probably limit his time around them as well, as much as possible. And I think your stepbrothers, I'm sorry to say, they are like messed up in their mind, but they went after you because they thought that they could have power over you in some way. And so if your brother or brothers are able to kind of prove to them that they don't stand a chance against them, then they'll probably most likely not try to go after them, at least in a physical way, because maybe they feel like there'll be a bit of competition or a bit of a challenge. People like that tend to want to go after others that are weaker than them. So if your brothers are coming across as confident and powerful, they might not go for them as much as they would have gone for you, because you're, perceivably more weak because you're a girl, which is stupid, but whatever. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, I think just kind of sleep on it, mull it over, just think about what plan of action you want to take with this. But also don't make any rash moves yourself either. Make sure that you're thinking things through too. So if you're, for example, going to report this, okay, make sure that you have hard evidence, okay, before you do this, because I have a feeling that your mom has gotten away with a lot in her life. She's been very lucky with getting away with things in her life, and you want to make sure that you have the whole entire paper trail, and you can really catch her off guard with this kind of stuff, if that's a decision you end up making. Makes sense. I ended up flipping the one who attacked me, so that ended good. Yeah, probably didn't see it coming. If I were to guess. Amy, if you're ready, you can post your question in the chat. He said, crazy, how did you know she's gotten away with things? She's very intelligent, to be honest. I don't know, Jasmine. I don't know why. I just felt compelled to say that. I think it has a little bit to do with the first reading that I did, where I could tell that she was very conniving, very manipulative. And I remember saying that she, as far as the optics from the outside, she doesn't want people to know what goes on behind closed doors. And there was like this feeling that I couldn't shake, that she's been able to kind of be sneaky about this and get away with a lot because of that, because she's very good at kind of keeping things hidden. Hey, lovely. I know, girl. It's been busy. I've been busy. Not like working, but busy doing other things. Amy, I have your question. Okay, lovely. That sounds good. We have a couple people ahead of you, so just come back in whenever you're ready. But Jasmine, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Jasmine, you gotta be a little more conniving, a little more like 2 steps ahead of her, okay? Because she knows how to work her way out of situations. All right. So next up we have Amy. She donated for a mini reading. And then after that we have Justin. Justin, if you want to prep your questions, feel free to do so now if you'd like. Hey, Justin. All right, this is for Amy. Justin, you're next. All right, Dominic, Virgo. Take a look. Oh, yes. Are you getting like flirty vibes from him? Because that's what I'm picking up here. Let's see. He feels like you are the type of person who puts your all into everything. Like if you care about something or a matter is important to you, a project, a person, etc., you will put yourself fully into that. He views you as someone who gives maximum effort and energy, and like if you're dedicated to something, if you make a promise to something, you will follow through on that. He feels like you have a good head on your shoulders, you have a good work ethic, you work really hard in general and also on yourself, it seems like. Justin, I got you. Thank you so much. All right. So Justin, I'll be with you next, and I've got your question, okay? So just sit tight for a few more minutes. He might feel or know that you kind of dabble in the occult a little bit. You have like your own spiritual practices and preferences. You're very creative. He can see like you maybe dabbling in that creativity professionally. I think that he looks at you as someone who maybe doesn't see like how special you are. Like you might the song, like you wait, who is this? Is this Jonas Brothers that's coming through? You don't know you're beautiful. I think that's the song. I don't know. I'm thinking Jonas Brothers, but like, I feel like he like feels like you're special, and maybe you don't see that about yourself, or like you have a hard time perceiving your own specialness. Um, almost like, and then also, I don't know how well this guy knows you, but almost like you can be like your own worst critic. Like you can be really hard on yourself. And maybe, alongside that has to do with like medical stuff. But I have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords has to do with like anxiety, self-imposed restriction, kind of not really seeing like how good things can be for you, or having a hard time with that, but really wanting to stay positive. But sometimes you can allow yourself to kind of be sucked back down into this place. There's like, you don't give yourself enough credit, I guess, is like the word or the way that I would describe this card. He knows you're helping design your great uncle nail salon. What? I didn't know that. What the heck? That is awesome. That's so cool, though. What an awesome project that is. Yeah, so like there's something about like not seeing how special you are, okay? But there's also like this flirty energy or this flirty element that he's seeing, okay? So, this might be someone who's okay being a acquaintance, or a working relationship, or a friendship, but at the same time you do have the Two of Cups and the Ace of Cups. So there is an air of chemistry around the two of you. Maybe like a flirty kind of vibe. But I feel like overall, Amy, he feels that's so cool. That's so fun. I'm really excited for you on that. He does feel you like you are overall a very stable and grounded person. Um, from what he knows about you. All right. But like he doesn't feel that you see, or that like how cool or how pretty or how special or whatever you are, because you come across as like this very humble person. Okay. And almost, Amy, like you're unaware of your charm or something. Like that's kind of how he's perceiving you. Oh, okay. Yeah, so he has a lot of positive thoughts about you for sure. He might think that you can get in your head very easily or overthink things a lot. But overall, I feel like he's enjoying your company. Oh, that's fun. So is this someone that you just met, or have you known this person? Oh, you've known him for a while. Okay. I mean, I don't know about his intentions because that was not the question I asked. I asked more like what he views and feels towards you. But with those cards I pulled, there was nothing really concerning. So yeah, I don't think his intentions are bad. I think his intentions are good. You want to donate to see his intentions. Okay. Sounds good to me. When that is sent, let me know, or once I get it, I'll let you know. Okay. It looks like it just came through. All right, let's do that real quick. Let's see. What are his intentions, please? What are his intentions? Oh my goodness. I think his intentions are pure, Amy. So the Six of Pentacles and the Lovers are at the center of the reading. This is very much like a match energy. So this can mean like you guys are a good match for each other. This can also mean that whatever you put in, he will return. So matching energy, giving and taking just as much as the other person, not really feeling like it's lopsided, basically. Like you're not going to feel like you're doing more than he is or vice versa. This is his intentions are basically to give to you just the way you would give to him. Now, I'm kind of getting like the energy, Amy, that you're like this for some reason with this guy, you take things very, very slow. I don't know if it's just everything that you've been through and just your own recovery process or whatever, and then your grief and your healing and all of that. But it's almost like you want to tread a little bit lighter with this connection, and therefore it allows for a very real foundation to be built with him, and neither of you are feeling the pressure of the attraction or the connection. It's almost like with him, you just do things differently for some reason is what I'm feeling like. and it allows for space to kind of just for things to just organically and naturally grow. Um, for sure, I've been trying to tread lightly and be open to anyone. Right. And so I think that kind of works to your benefit with him, or really even anyone else, because you're not succumbing to the pressure of the attraction and the like connection that you guys are um sharing. You just kind of like let things naturally unfold. And like from his perspective, he likes that. Um I just really feel like a foundation and like a sense of security that comes from this relationship, because I don't think that either of you put any kind of expectation on the other person. And somehow that allows for something really beautiful and fun to happen. And I think that it's a relationship of free will, but I think that if it's one that you really enjoy, you can really like make something of this. I feel from his perspective, he wants to have fun with you, maybe have some kind of companionship, like banter, maybe spending time doing things, especially creative things together. He feels very inspired by this. There's also attraction for you. I think that there is a hovering cloud though over the connection. The Four of Cups is here, meaning that maybe he doesn't know if you're as interested in he is, or maybe another interpretation is this: because you guys live at a distance, he doesn't want to be disappointed if he tries to pursue this connection and it doesn't work out, because you know you guys are far apart most of the time, or whatever this is. But I do like this connection for you. I've got to say, um I feel like it's a subtle, non-obsessive, subtle like thing where you guys are not putting pressure or expectation on each other. And it's like, I really like this pace. I like this gentleness. I like that you guys are both just kind of taking things one day at a time. I don't know, like there's something about the energy of this connection that feels very peaceful and not stressful, and I like that for you. Right, so he's in the army, so like he's traveling a lot, right? So yeah, there's like a reading that's coming back to me that we did, Amy. I feel like I don't know if you remember, but I feel like I told you that some kind of connection comes in for you after you move out. And I feel like this person might be like out of the area. This person that you start talking to or start dating doesn't like live near you or something. But I'm having I cannot remember. But this is kind of falling in line, I think, with that feeling that I had. You want to enjoy being alone too, and also trying to let go of things and people. Yeah, definitely, Amy. I feel like as long as you are able to kind of compartmentalize and know that like when you see each other, you see each other. When you don't, you don't. And you don't like put all your eggs in the Dominic basket. I think that's going to be the best scenario for this relationship to thrive. Not because he's not interested or you're not interested, but because you guys have extenuating circumstances that can make it difficult to foster and maintain a relationship with each other, allowing for just that space to just enjoy each other's company and let things organically happen rather than trying to force anything to happen is really going to be beneficial for this connection that you're forming with him. Pro English girly, welcome in. But I think that he has really good intentions as far as you. I'm not seeing any kind of like betrayal or sneakiness, or he's got a bunch of other girls or something like that. Like I don't. I feel like his interest is genuine. I feel like he's coming through very genuine. Um, Maybe a little cautious, but still open. Does that help you, Amy? Before I move on to the next person. Because he's early 20s, a little younger, he probably wants to enjoy his life. That's true, Amy. That's true. Now, I will say, from my experience and understanding, people that are in the military, they do kind of fast forward their life a little bit more. So he's probably, just generally speaking, a little more open to settling down and a little more open to a long-term relationship than, say, some other 20-year-old, because it sounds like Dominic is very much thinking about his future and planning for his future and setting himself up properly. Now, that's a generalization. That doesn't necessarily mean that that is where he's at mentally, but at the same time, he might be a little bit more like mature and secure and like really just trying to stabilize his future, more so than the other guy that we talk about sometimes, especially because in both of your readings tonight, the Emperor came through. And that's very much like provider, protector, husband, long-term security, long-term boyfriend material. So I feel like this guy might be a little bit more on the same page as you are when it comes to being interested in a relationship. But Amy, at the same time, I want you to consider what you'd be getting yourself into with a potential future partner that is in the military, because that is, who knows, maybe it would be good for you. Maybe for you, having that space and seeing this like having that constant communication, knowing this person is interested in you but maybe not spending all of your time with them, would be really healthy for you, because you would still have time to focus on your passion projects and the things that are important to you and your own growth, and not getting completely lost in a relationship. Maybe that would be good for you, but you kind of have to like think that through too, because long distance relationships, especially long distance with someone who's in the military and can't devote as much time to you as you might like, that might be a hardship. So definitely just like pace yourself is essentially what I'm feeling. It's not a bad match, it's not a bad person, it's not about anything. It's just be very mindful of this if that is the direction that you walk down. You know what I mean? You said, yeah, it does. Thank you, Luna. You're welcome. Yeah, you're curious what it's gonna be like when you see each other in person. Yeah, Amy, I get it. But there's nothing wrong with a long game either, okay? Like, that's totally cool too. All right, Amy, I am going to move on to the next person. We've got Justin here. Justin wanted to do a mini love spread. Says, you're welcome. Ezekiel Sag, you're a Cap. Recent connection. I'm just not sure what to do. Gives you mixed mixed signals. So what we're gonna do is we'll do the love spread number 2 because this kind of touches on thoughts, feelings, intentions, overall energy, etc., etc. And it focuses more on Ezekiel for option 2 rather than the two of you together, because I think you know where your head is at. You want to know where his head is at. Amy, you're welcome. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you for stopping in. All right, Ezekiel and Justin, please. Ezekiel and Justin. Oh, I just saw Amy, so you'll keep me posted on how your meds journey is going. That sounds good. All right, Ezekiel and Justin. Two. Three. Sorry, Justin, I got bumped out. Okay, so just pull the cards. So, Justin, for what they're showing, what he's showing and how he's showing up in the connection, I have the 5 of Pentacles. So this is the energy of like leaving you on the outside of his life, feeling like he doesn't want to let you in. So imagine that you like he's inside of his house and like that's his internal self, that's how he's feeling. He's kind of like keeping you locked out, like he does not feel like he's wanting to kind of let you in, let you know what he's thinking, not really showing or giving much to this connection. As far as thoughts and feelings, I have the 10 of Swords and the Justice card. I feel like when it comes to you, that Ezekiel does not have any intention to like progress this relationship in a very real way. The thoughts here with the Justice card means that he has to really get very real with himself and like be very honest with himself if this is something that he's interested in. And I feel almost like he's in this place of avoidance. Like he needs to be honest with himself. He needs to really look inside himself and decide if you are someone that he wants to explore a connection with. And it feels almost like he wants to avoid that question. He does not want to think about it, talk about it, anything like that. I'm getting with the intentions that there's a very high chance that he will walk away from this connection without you actually getting something that you're looking for. And I think that the hot and cold mixed energy that you are getting from him is because he's not being very honest with himself about maybe his attraction for you or his desire to be with you in a very real way. I almost feel like there's a lot of self imposed restriction um when it comes to you, almost like he doesn't want to let himself get to the point where he could fall for you. Lots of avoidant, detached, flight kind of energy coming from him. And the Eight of Cups with his intentions is showing me that he's very likely to pack it up and walk away before he's giving you something very real. Um, the outside influences or blocks are indicating that this is going to be a very tumultuous and challenging kind of connection for you, where it's very high like effort and very little reward or payout. I also have for the overall energy the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles, which makes me feel like maybe he's almost like trying to dictate who his type is, like almost like he doesn't like, either you're not the ideal type for him, or you are but he doesn't want to admit it. I hope that's making sense. It's feeling like he's kind of lying to himself. Maybe he's going after something that he thinks he wants when really he wants you, or he's trying to fit a circle into a square. Like, I'm almost getting that he's just very uncomfortable with the relationship with you in general. And I don't know what this is. I don't know where this stems from. I'm not sure why I'm getting that energy, but I feel like there's something about you that kind of holds a mirror up to him and makes him feel like he needs to face something that he's not ready to face. And it's making for a very complicated situation because there's going to be moments of weakness for him where he wants to talk to you, hang out with you, spend time with you, whatever the extent of or nature of the relationship is. But then there's times where he is regretful or ashamed. And sometimes these feelings come from not being comfortable with your own identity, or I don't want to say it, but cheating. Maybe like giving in to instant gratification and being weak, and then suddenly having remorse for that. Or just essentially hiding away a certain part of himself that he feels like he gets to unleash with you, but then immediately like feeling like ashamed of it or something. I don't know, but there's definitely some element of like avoiding, not being true to himself, and maybe like trying to figure out what it is he's wanting. So that's kind of the vibe, Justin, and the overall energy with like the blocks and stuff. It's making me feel like you're trying to pursue a relationship with someone who doesn't know what they want, and you're just going to be dragging along for the ride while your feelings are getting mixed up in this, and it's like hardly any kind of reciprocation from him. And it's just like the more that this goes on, the more invested you get and the more hurt you might end up getting because he is confused. So I wish that I had better information to give to you, but I almost feel like the advice of this reading is to kind of like set him free and let him figure things out for himself. And if he comes back to you, then he would need to be very clear of what he's looking for and what he's wanting with this. And not like, oh, go sow your wild oats, go be with other people or date other people or whatever. Like, if you're looking for something more serious and more stable, if he comes back around, you need to like make sure that he is on the same page as you, because I feel like you guys are just not connecting in the way that you guys are like both on the same page. I hope that's making sense. So yeah, the advice would be to kind of back off from this and let him figure himself out first before maybe investing more of your feelings into this person. But Again, free will is free will, and you will choose to do what you feel is best for yourself. So, Justin, that is what I have for your mini reading. If you have any questions or if you would like to add on to this reading, let me know. Oh my God, you're so funny. I literally just texted you. I literally just sent a message that said, I just finished up with everyone on my list. And if I'm not on when you come back, feel free to send them. We'll do offline. That's so funny. It's like perfect timing. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. We're doing another channeled message for you, lovely? Oh, sounds like my nephew. The usual. Okay, perfect. Justin, I did. I just finished it like maybe a minute or two ago. Scroll back, I don't know, like 5 to 7 minutes. I'm not exactly sure where I started you. Let me see. Oh, scroll back farther than that, actually. Scroll back. Trying to see. When did I put your question on the screen? Scroll back about 14 minutes. I started somewhere around there. So just scroll back to where you see me putting your question on the screen. Roughly 14 minutes ago. And you're very welcome. He said, how about 2 nights ago I was on Instagram just scrolling, watching reels. You know how some reels have rating on it? Well, I'm reading along in one, and suddenly I noticed the guy had on the same exact outfit Mike had on our date. Oh my god, that's weird. You know what? I don't even know if I'd remember what someone wore on a date with me, to be honest. That is so funny. You've got a good memory because I don't know if I would remember. But that is eerie. Coincidence? I think not. Oh my god. That is crazy. That is like so wild. That I don't even know how to explain that. That is so crazy. Hey Jasmine. Yes, absolutely. Just send your donation over and I'll get to you after I finish with Lovely, okay? That's wow, that's wild. Were you speechless? Because I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know how you begin to explain something like that. You're welcome. At first, you laughed, sent it to your two friends, and told them when you woke up, that's when it hit you. Yeah. A shirt, a jacket is one thing, but like the whole outfit. Jasmine, I just got you for an in-depth reading, so you will be next after Lovely. And if you want to go ahead and get your questions sent over, feel free. I'm working on a channeled message for Lovely right now, so those can take like a few minutes to get done. So just sit tight and I'll be with you as soon as I can. You're welcome. Justin, you're welcome. I know. I'm so sorry. Like I hate being the bearer of bad news, but at the same time I don't want to lie to you, you know? So make the decision that you feel is best for yourself, and if you ever need another reading, I'm here for you. Jasmine, you're also welcome. Yep. Yep. You're welcome. Well, it sounds like I gave you the confirmation. I'm hoping what was already in your heart, what you already knew to be true. So, in that ways, I do hope it helps. All right. Just a update. We're about halfway done. All right, girl. Let me get this sent to you. What I will say is that he is feeling like impulsive, and I don't mean in a way that he's being thoughtless. I just mean like having self-control has been very hard for him when it comes to you, especially lately. Like there's this almost like this feeling that has overcome him, and it's like just been really hard to kind of have self-discipline, and he has to keep talking himself off a ledge basically. But his message is, there's something about you that feels like I'm being called home. Also, sorry, I think that I accidentally, wait, did that get erased or not? For some reason, okay, never mind. It was just the way that it looks. So he says, there's something about you that feels like I'm being called home. Like I have arrived at a place I've been trying to get to my whole life. I use you as a guide, like a lighthouse, a steady light in a world that never stops shifting. I know I haven't told you, but I care about you, and after meeting you, I want to grow in so many ways. You spark a fire within me. I feel like there is still unfinished business with us and so much left to explore. Lately, I've been craving a need for truth from myself and also from you, because I can only imagine where I stand with you. I'm almost desperate to know what thoughts you have about me after all this time. I catch myself having the urge to message you, but I don't know how much longer I'll be able to hold back. And it feels like he he's battling himself a little bit because, like, I don't know. I would not be surprised if he reaches out to you or you get some kind of communication from him. Like, I just don't know how much longer he's going to be able to hold off without trying to talk to you. I think what stops him is him worrying about the impression that that's going to make if it's not thought through enough. He's going to think, I don't want to blow it. I don't want to blow my chance. And then also, I think he's a little scared. Like, I think he's a little nervous because he's like, what if she doesn't want to hear from me? What if she doesn't want to even like think about me or talk to me? And, you know, that buys him some time. But it doesn't matter because it's like that feeling to reach out to you is just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's like a monster inside of him. And like, I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to hold off from reaching out, because for the longest time reasoning with himself, it was easy, and now it almost feels like an impulse. It feels like an urge, a desperation, a craving. Like he's kind of like, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to hold back. Like I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to like not talk to her, because I think his curiosity is almost overpowering reasoning right now. You noticed on Sunday while you were at the Chris Brown concert, he posted, the first post said, back to my hiatus, but then posted 2 more times. Oh my gosh. That makes a lot of sense. Yes, we've been seeing that a lot lately. So, you know, I think there's this, what can I say? There was an unrelated conversation that I had with my husband about a choice that he needed to decide on and make. And my advice to him was, as long as he's still wishy-washy and kind of like back and forth, that he should not make a decision. And I said, but there is going to come a time where you're going to just know, and you're just going to feel like, okay, it's time. I need to just do this. And I said, and I don't want you to just jump into this. I don't want you to rush it, because if you're going back and forth and you make the decision prematurely and you don't feel confident in that decision, then you might regret it. And I said, so until you feel that we're at the point where we don't have a choice and we just need to just do it or go for it or whatever, like if you're still going back and forth on it, just give it more time. And that's kind of what I feel like exactly. And that's what I kind of feel like he's going through right now, is that he's still in that wishy-washy back and forth place, but that he's building to the point where he's going to feel like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to reach out to her and it's going to happen and I'm not going to go back on this decision. And at that point, when he feels like he's not wavering anymore, that's when you're going to hear from him. That's what I feel inside. That's the same advice you would give. Yeah. Yeah, so that's like the life metaphor that I have, the like closest comparison I can give to what he might be experiencing in this moment when it comes to you. And like, I don't think you want him either to reach out to you until he knows for sure that he's ready to do so. So, you know, his curiosity might get the best of him. I do respect his decision to have self-discipline and self-control, but it's building, and I think it's going to come to a point where he's going to be like, this is it. I'm reaching out. I'm going to communicate with her. So, and I feel like I remember saying, like, I thought September. I don't know why. If I recall correctly from like a previous reading we did, I was feeling like September for some reason. It was like early fall. And I can't believe it, but we're already almost there. Like, that's crazy. That's in 2 more weeks. So we will see what comes of this. I'll be very curious to see how this plays out. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I was like, am I crazy? I thought I said September or around there. So what you're feeling is like the pressure cooker for him right now. It's like the pressure is building and building and building. And I feel like it's really just a matter of time at this point. It flew by. I'm panicking. It's going too fast. So lovely. I hope that that gives you that update you were looking for. If there's anything else you want to add on for, let me know. But if not, I'll go ahead and move on to Jasmine. I know. Yes, it does. Have a great night. You're welcome. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thanks so much for stopping in. And you know I love doing those readings for you. I appreciate it. All right, so we are going to move on to Jasmine. Jasmine, if you're in here. Oh, hey. All right, so you said, I found a space I might like. How will my move in September go for me? I've started packing. Good. That's a really great thing to do, even if you haven't already found a place. By packing and starting to pack, you're telling the universe that you're ready for the next step for yourself, and they will take your lead on that. So I think that's a really great thing to do. Maybe you can't pack everything up, but if you can get started, you're already starting to shift that timeline for yourself. Cool. So let's shuffle and see what we've got. All right, how will the move in September go for Jasmine? How will the move in September go? All right, so they are saying that it's going to be a very inspired time for you. You're going to just be feeling like you're moving into like a new season, a new phase, etc. I am being shown a little bit of a challenge, maybe a little bit of a hiccup. I asked if like the move will be like a smooth transition, and I got the devil. So I'm almost wondering if like there's going to be drama that's surrounding your move. Um, that's you will overcome because the 7 of Wands always signifies overcoming a challenge, but there might be some kind of hiccups, some kind of complication or something like that that might not make this the easiest transition as possible. I don't know if this has to do with your family, where like there's drama surrounding it and making life harder on you, or trying to make this complication. Because like the devil talks about like blocks and things and like issues that might come up that might make it a little bit more challenging. But like I said, I think that the overall theme and energy of the move itself is a breath of fresh air and feeling inspired and just being really excited for like the next step. I asked if you were going to have anyone that would be able to help you move, and there might be one other person, but I don't think you have like people rallying around you. I think this move is mostly going to be on your shoulders, which sad to say, but I think that you are used to that. So you might have like one person, you might have like a friend, or maybe even your brother, I'm not sure, but like maybe like one other person, maybe two people, but I don't think you have like a group of people that are going to be helping you. And I think this is going to be a lot of work for yourself that you're going to have to really get yourself situated and really get yourself moved in. Let me see if there's any other details here. You make this place a home really fast. And I feel like also you protect the energy of your new place because you don't want just anybody to have access to you and have access to your apartment or your home or your house or whatever it is. I feel like this is like your sacred space. Like this is your sanctuary and you don't want to muddy it up with other people's energy. So you very much like make it your home. And like that's kind of where you want to reside. This is like your safe place. Now I don't know. I'm seeing like this is funny. I'm seeing like something happening on the floor of this place, almost like you don't have a bed right away, or you don't have a dining room table right away, or a coffee table or couch or something. It's like almost like there's some kind of something that has to happen on the floor until you can get these other things. But they are showing that you accumulate the things that you need within a good amount of time. There might be some things that are given to you for free. You might find some free decor and like furniture on the marketplace, or like things that are really affordable. But for whatever reason, I'm seeing you moving into this new space, but feeling like once it gets there, that you have a lot of space that you need to fill up that you don't have items for, you don't have furniture for, or something along those lines. But you don't care because you're like, this is my place. Like, this is where I'm staying. This is my own area, and I don't care if I had just a folding chair in this place. Knowing that I have a space of my own is really all that matters to me. So definitely feeling like it's like nothing can be worse. I guess in your mind you're thinking nothing can be worse than what I've already endured. This is like my reward. This is going to be so much better for me. Anything is better than what I was currently dealing with. So there's definitely a feeling of freedom. I have the Fool here. Lots of excitement, feeling like you can breathe again a little bit. Let's see. How's this going to go? Oh my gosh, I love this. You have the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Sun. And this feels like it was meant to be. I almost feel like you might be getting around this time like synchronicities, like two seemingly unrelated things will start happening around this time where you feel like things are kind of coming into focus for yourself and like this is how it was supposed to be, this is fate, this is destiny, whatever. Where you might be getting like deja vu, you might be seeing reoccurring numbers, you might, you know, watch something on TV and they might be talking about, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something like totally random that's not really ever brought up. They might be talking about moo-moos, okay, on TV, and like you're scrolling on your phone and then like you see a video where someone's wearing a moo-moo. Does that make sense? Like I feel like you start to get like these synchronicities where you're kind of like, that's weird. Like how I what? Like how is this all happening right now? Um because like the thing about synchronicities is you'll start seeing the weirdest things start to connect where like they have nothing to do with each other, but when you feel like you're starting to come into that new timeline, it's like these weird moments of deja vu and coincidences and like just random stuff where you start to feel like maybe it's a sign that you're heading in the right direction. And I feel like once the move happens, you are getting these signs a little bit in advance. And then once the move happens, it just feels right. I feel like the place that you go to is a place that you're going to renew the lease. And I want to say that I feel like I've told you that before, but because I have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles, it makes me feel like long term. It makes me feel like you're either buying a house or you're leasing and you're renewing a contract. It's like there's something about this space that I feel you last there for a while. And also, this is your happy place because the sun is showing like dancing and warmth. And I don't know if you're going to be just doing some kind of celebration dance or something in your apartment once you're finally moved in, like, oh, this is like it. This is what I've been wanting. But there's definitely a lot of celebration, a lot of growth, a lot of happiness that happens. And it may be solo, but that's fine, I think. Um, so yeah, so if there's any hiccups that come up in September, I don't want you to feel like you're not going to overcome them. Just think, okay, this is just a temporary thing. It will get resolved, it will be fixed because the energy is that you will overcome. But I don't want you to go into this thinking that this is going to be super easy and that like your family is not going to try to like rain on your parade, or that there might like I want this to be as smooth of a transition for you, but I want to be clear, there's definitely a theme of like inconvenience at a minimum. um so don't get discouraged by that. Just know that this is fine. This was to be expected, and I will figure it out. And it's not going to stop the ultimate result from happening, which is me moving into my own place. Do you get what I mean? Is there anything that I mentioned that you need like clarified? It might be because I do have the Queen of Pentacles here, and when I was talking about the complication, the Queen of Pentacles flew out of the deck. and that typically represents a mother or a mother figure. So you might be onto something. But I didn't want to put that out there because number one, I don't know for sure, but also I'm not trying to manifest that for you. You know what I mean? Like I don't want that complication for you. I would rather your complication be like you have to go to the bank and get a cashier's check and that's really annoying, but whatever if it gets you into a new place. Like I'd rather your complication have to do with like showing pay stubs or W-2s or something. Like I would rather your complication have to do with like a hiccup in terms of like renting or buying versus your family trying to make your life more complicated. That's not something I want for you. But at the same time, we have to be realistic that that is a possibility. Oh, gotcha. I actually don't remember that, but that is interesting. You know what? As a Taurus moon myself and almost a Taurus stellium, I have to tell you, I'm not a fan of Taurus women. I'm just not. I'm really not. I don't get a good read on them. I don't really have super good experiences with them. I make friends with Taurus women very easily, but I have been kind of blindsided by Taurus women, and my experience is that they always look out for themselves first, and if they know that you're gonna walk into quicksand, they'll let you do it as long as it means that they can save themselves. And like that has been my issue, is that it's never like a true friendship where the person's looking out for you. I feel like the Taurus is definitely more focused on themselves. It doesn't mean that they're inherently bad people. Sometimes maybe it's just I'm such a selfless person and I cannot get down with the Taurus women for some reason. And like I said, I make friends with them really easily, but I always have to keep them at arm's length because at some point I'm going to feel screwed over by a Taurus woman. It's like it never fails. And I don't want to think that way or feel that way. And I'm wondering if it's because like I can also relate to Taurus women really easily because I have a part of fortune. My Mercury is there and also my moon is there. And maybe that's why I understand Taurus women really well, but I just can't bring myself to like fully trust them. And that's not from anything but actual experience that I've had. So it's tough. It's a tough placement in my opinion, and I don't know if that's me personally or what. Or if that's how everyone feels. I don't know. Naisha, hey girl, welcome in. How are you? You always walk into a Taurus combo. UOP says my friend is a Taurus sun and she's really stubborn. Oh my god, that literally sounds like my mom, and my stepdad is a Taurus. You must have a nice singing voice if you've got a Mercury Taurus. I don't really sing, but my family is very musical. And here's what I will say. People like my voice. I will say doing readings, that is probably the biggest compliment that I get, that people say they like my speaking voice. As far as singing goes, I think it would require some lessons, and then I think I could be potentially good at it. But it's not my passion, so I don't pursue it. I feel like that about Scorpios. It's a hit or miss. How are you? I'm great. Thanks so much for asking. I'm good. I'm glad to hear you're doing good. Um, Jasmine says, yes, I know too many Tauruses. My mom has let me walk into the quicksand. Yep. I feel you, Jasmine. You know what's weird? It's just, and for me, it's just Taurus women. It's just, that's it. Like, Taurus men, I don't have any issues with personally. Oh, UAP, that's nice of you. Thank you so much. Jasmine loves Scorpios. Thanks, girl. I really do feel that way because my 10th house of career has Neptune and Uranus in it. Uranus, however you want to pronounce it. And that indicates that like my career will have to do with the occult and spiritual stuff, but also be very different from like the average job. And I definitely feel like I fell into that niche for sure. And I have a 10th house stellium as well in Capricorn, so it's really where it's Saturn is there as well, so it's like it's like the place that I work the hardest. And then I have a Gemini stellium as well, which means that I'm really good at talking a lot. So I feel like I really kind of hit all those points very, very well with this specific career choice. But I'm trying to get into a second form of income as well, which kind of taps into those things too. Aries ascendant, Taurus moon. Cancer men scare you. Cancer moon, interesting placement. I heard Cancer being in Cancer moon is difficult. I heard being a Capricorn moon is harder. Saturn is a no joke sign. Sometimes I wish I wasn't a Capricorn because there are no handouts for me ever. Jasmine, I know, girl. I know. I mean, I don't know how many placements you have in Capricorn, but since I'm a Aries ascendant, all of my houses fall into the natural house. So, as you all know, that the astrology starts with Aries, and Aries is always the natural first house. Taurus is the natural second. Gemini is the natural third, etc., etc. And that is my exact chart. So all of my houses fall into the natural place. So when I say that I'm a Capricorn stellium, I'm talking my Saturn is there. It's in the 10th natural 10th house of Capricorn. It's Capricorn like on the cusp of that house. And then in addition to that, that's where my midheaven is. That's where my Neptune is and where my Uranus is. So there's a lot of shit going on in my Capricorn house. And I can definitely relate. But my struggles more so have to do with my public image and my my career specifically. Do people find you intimidating when you don't talk? Are you talking about me or are you talking about Niasia when you ask that question? I definitely personally feel people can be intimidated by me. Just my energy. But it's weird because it's like they're intimidated by it, but they're intrigued by my energy at the same time. It's weird. Five Capricorn placements. Good God. Pisces, Saturn. Oh gosh. Jasmine, your chart's just set up for you to be like have so much complication. I'm so sorry. The Gemini is here. Gemini, did you donate for a yes no question? Okay. I'm going to be working on Nyasia, and then you'll be next after that, okay? You're welcome, Jasmine. Oh, I hope that this gave you some encouragement, something to look forward to when you move, because I think it's going to be really good for you for sure. Jasmine, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. And Jasmine, don't feel confined to your birth chart either, okay? Your birth chart is like a great blueprint to reference to understand yourself better. But one thing they don't talk about is we're supposed to outgrow our natal chart, okay? So if you think about your birth chart, that's literally the themes and challenges you were born with. But that's from the moment of like birth, basically, into this world. And depending on how old you are, you might be 35, 45, 65, 75, 95. At some point, you should be able to feel like you have outgrown those things, because once you can pinpoint them, once you're aware of those things about yourself, about your life, and the experiences that you have, you'll eventually notice the things that you want to release and not be confined to or imprisoned to. And then maybe the things that you do like about your chart, you can just amplify those. So, we're not stuck there. We're not supposed to be there forever. That's the whole point of life, is to evolve and grow. So, to understand maybe the challenges that you have, but I don't want you to feel like you have to dwell in that place of a birth chart. It's more so just a key of a way to understand yourself and why the things have happened in your life. UOP, when is your birthday? Okay, so Nyasia, you donated for a BOGO? Yay. Okay, so what are your questions? Oh, sweet. I'm June 1. We have really close birthdays. Naisha, you want to explore your past life? Like, are you talking about with astrology? Oh my goodness. I think I want to say Chiron is in my fourth house, Cancer. That's my wound. I know with astrology, your South Node, Chiron, um, Saturn, because that represents karma and life lessons and limitations. Pluto placements can talk about transformation. Your 12th house, which is like your unconscious and your hidden stuff. And then if there's any retrograde planets at birth, maybe point to unfinished business. So there's a lot that you can look at. And wherever your south node is, if you look at the house in the sign that the house is in, that might give you a little bit more information about it as well. Like my south node is in Leo in the 5th house. So I feel like I was like some kind of, I feel like I just had a very privileged life in the past. I really feel like that's the case because this life is all about me helping other people and not focusing so much on myself. Chiron's in the 10th and the 11th. Was I a royal or a donkey? Start with your south node, I would. Oh my gosh, it's already 1 in the morning. All right, we got to get going on these readings here. Okay, let me catch up on the chat. Okay, so Naisha, are you with your BOGO is just so I understand, are you asking about your past life through tarot or have you not posted your question yet? Oh, I'm glad that you had fun, UFP. You sound like you know a lot about astrology, which is really cool. So if you ever want to come back in and share the wealth, feel free. Oh, goodness. Okay. Asking about past life through tarot, seeing if we can pick up on character traits, occupation. You're so curious. I want to use the archetype deck on this because I just feel like that's a really cool deck. So let's see what we have. And by the way, you have probably had a lot of past lives, okay? So we're going to be tapping into a couple different things here. All right, I did go ahead and close the list, guys. Not that I don't want to keep hanging out with y'all, but Mama's tired. So I'm going to sign off here after these readings. Okay. Past life. Character traits. What did you do for a living? Pick a Ganza. Okay. I think that you were a bit of a nomad, Nyasia, physical nomadic. Maybe that's why you are kind of like a professional or career nomad, where you kind of go from career to career, because that nomadic life is very much a part of you. But when I say nomad in a past life, I mean you did not sit in one place for too long in terms of physical location. I think you were someone who liked to explore different parts of the world. You probably just went from place to place. It's giving gypsy, but you might not have been a gypsy specifically. I just feel like you had this like wanderer heart, this desire to explore, to seek knowledge and wisdom. I'm specifically seeing the desert, so you might have like spent some time in hotter climates, hotter, drier climates. Um, and I feel like it was more you like to be educated. You like to know a lot about things. And almost just like you're always seeking truth, you're always seeking knowledge. But for this specific past life that we're channeling, it was like, I want to know more about cultures. I want to know about communities. I want to know how things are run. I want to know about royalty, and I want to know about politics, and I want to know like how this community runs and functions, and lots of like maybe missionary work, or like I don't know, it almost feels like there's like this like craving for spiritual wisdom, but also um literary knowledge, and just like you just craved information. And maybe in the past life, it wasn't like it is now, where that information can be at our fingertips. So you in a past life had to go from place to place to place to acquire that knowledge. And I think that in turn, you were a very trusted advisor, because people would know your vast experience. And I think people went to you for counsel as well. Okay. You feel like you did. You have this huge birthmark on your back. You were insecure about it growing up. Definitely resonates. I'm still in that energy, all of it. And there's nothing wrong with it. And the reason why I said like an advisor is because I have like the Prince card here. And there's a couple interpretations. One, you might have been a man in a past life, at least one of them. But two, I feel like royal people, or like people wanted your information. That's why I was like getting that advisor detail. Almost like a Winston Churchill type, if that makes sense. Like I just feel like people went to you and they sought counsel. What would you do in this situation? What do you think is going to happen? You had just like a lot of knowledge about the world, climate of the world, politics, just it all. Like it just was like people were like, what do you think I should do? What is the plan? And again, this might have span over like multiple like lifetimes. This might just be an innate and intrinsic part of your soul blueprint. UOP's back in here. Let's see. Little nerd, I love the little like emoji. So with that being said, that's definitely like a overarching theme for you where you had a lot of power over different plays, different decisions that were being made. Now, let's go back to the gypsy thing that I mentioned, okay? You have the card. You love to learn and share your knowledge. It's perfect for you. You have the mystic card here as well. And this speaks to reveling in an intimate union with the divine. That feels more gypsy, medium, spiritual. So maybe in certain lives you were more of like the spiritual advisor, and maybe in some worlds, some lives you were a spiritual advisor, maybe some lives you were a political advisor. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it just depends on where you were at and what you did. And Naija, I don't know if you still have a craving for exploring the world, but what I will say is I feel like in all the lives that you've had, you've kind of been everywhere. So there may be certain places that you're drawn to where you're like, oh, I'd love to go there and see that place. But I'm almost getting the feeling that I don't know if you want to explore everything because almost like your soul knows you've already been to those places, but maybe there's certain places you're drawn to because you would like to go back there because you would like to see it again. Your soul just kind of is calling you back to that place. Let's see. What else? Can you tell me anything else about her? You have quite a you have addict, so you have like quite the like obsessive, deep divey, like addictive type of personality. And I don't mean this in a negative way because it came out in the upright, which meant that it's a strength for you. So some people might perceive, oh, like, you just completely lost yourself in this one subject or this one career or this one category. And like you just disappeared. You like just fully delved into this one thing. And to other people, that could seem concerning, that could seem addictive, that could seem obsessive, but it's actually a strength. And I feel like spirit wants you to know that your ability to go all in and deeply dive into something and like maybe get into this kind of rabbit hole for like days or weeks at a time, it shouldn't be perceived as something negative. It should be perceived as something very, very positive. Okay. I also feel like at one point you worked with animals. I don't know if it was like hands-on veterinary kind of thing. That's not really what I'm feeling. But I feel like at one point you were living somewhere where there was a lot of farm or a lot of animals around you. Like you had access to a lot of different maybe livestock or could have been like a jungle vibe. But I just feel like there's this part of you that's really good, like almost like animals are drawn to you in some way. Even if it's not what you want, they like your energy, they like your high vibe. Let me see. You plan to travel, finally got a passport, yay! I'm picking about where I want South Korea or Vietnam first, maybe Singapore. That's so cool. Are you like super into like Asian culture? Is that like just something you're very drawn to? I ask because I have the Mystic card. Kind of looks like Asian culture. I'm gonna email you a picture of it real quick. It's just kind of giving that like aesthetic. Oh, okay. So I remember feeling like you were like a council. I remember saying council. You have the judge card here too. So keep in mind that people might have trusted you for like making wise choices and decisions that were fair, and that other people trusted you to, to make these decisions into your own hands. So either they're saying you were literally a judge, okay, like in the court, or you were in the court of like a royal council, and that ultimately your decision was like the final one that they went with. Um, so I think that you just had you're a person of power, you're a person of leadership. You are someone that people trusted. And I think, like I said, this spanned over lifetimes, where just depending on where you were needed or where you are needed is kind of how you transfer those skills. And then again, you also have lifetimes of wisdom. And so there's certain things in Asia that even if you are not educated on it, you inherently just know sometimes. Like you might have really strong clear cognizance as well, because it's like, okay, yeah, I've never experienced this in my life before. I've never had education on it, but somehow I just know and I can't really explain it. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's from other lifetimes where you did do those things and that knowledge, that wisdom was carried over. You love Asian culture. I know places people don't really talk about. That's so cool. I love that so much. I think you just have this ability to balance justice and compassion, Naija. You have you're very fair. You're a very fair person. Like you can see things from all sides and all angles. And I think that it's like something you need to know is that people trust you. And I think that also that trust carries over lifetime after lifetime as well. You're knowing random stuff. Yeah, and like it's like you don't really need to like learn about it. It's like somehow you just kind of know. So I feel like Naija, one thing that you can take away from this reading, I'm sure there's a lot here, but one of the things is that you are a trusted person. Like you're a person that people believe knows a lot, has good advice, and I feel like this carries over. So it's probably you're Libra, you got some Libra in your chart, so I feel like that also makes kind of some sense, because that's, Libra is justice, Libra is fair, Libra is trusted, Libra understands both sides of a situation, and it makes sense that you are a Libra with this type of history. So, you might have been a religious advisor, then you might have been a royal advisor, then you might have been a spiritual advisor. It might have just been different types, but I always feel like you harness this leadership, this guide. You become this guide for people to look up to answer questions, almost like and other people say, okay, I trust them, or I trust you, or I trust her. So the only other thing that I could kind of pick up is that you might have had other lifetimes as a masculine energy, but that might have been for your benefit because of your life purpose in those times. Being a man would likely have gained you more respect. So that might be kind of why I'm picking up a little bit on that. But I don't think that's been every lifetime either. I think that might have just been in the last one or two of them. Yes, Libra, diplomacy, supremacy, exactly. So what is your second BOGO question? After we finish Nyasia, we're going to wrap up her donation. And then we have the Gemini with a yes/no question. Then I will be signing off for the night. Girl, you did not have to do that. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Look, and that's another thing about you, Nyasia, is you're just a you're a very, very generous person. And I think your lives will just keep rewarding you depending on like how many more lives you want to live. Thank you so, so, so much. You're amazing. And I'm actually happy I got to see you again so soon because usually I have to go a couple weeks before we can talk. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear it. I hope and I think this reading resonated with you. Thank you so much. Please get some sleep. Enjoy the rest of your slumber. Thank you, friend. It means a lot. I really appreciate you. All right, this is for the Gemini, and then I'm going to be signing off for the night. The Gemini donated for a yes/no reading, saying, "Is Sag asleep right now? I have the urge to reach out to him, but I feel like I waited too late." Let's see. You too, Nyasia. Have a good rest of your week, friend. I'll see you next time. All right, Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. Is Sag asleep? Is Sag asleep? Sag currently asleep. No. Four of Pentacles. I do not think that the Sag is currently asleep. I also have the Death card at the top, which is a no, and the Devil at the bottom, which is a no. I think your Sag is awake, Gemini. Oh, and I cut the deck and I got a no, the Tower. I think your Sag is awake, friend. So if you want to reach out, or if you've already reached out, he is not asleep, is what I'm getting. All right, guys. Thank you so, so, so much for an amazing live. I will be back tomorrow and Friday and sometime this weekend, maybe Saturday night or Sunday. So I will see you guys next time. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Have a good evening.